Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and in today's video I want to go over the new February 2020 Humble Choice bundle. Obviously, Humble moved away from monthly, now we've got Choice. It is $20 a month if you were not a part of the Humble monthly classic plan or whatever, so, you know, it's a little bit of a harder sell, but I do think February's bundle is pretty good, and we'll go over that. And also, a reminder that Metro Exodus will be returning to Steam very soon. I do want to talk about that, give you guys my thoughts on the game. 1 year since one of the biggest games that Epic Games got as an exclusive will be making the transition back to Steam. What's happened in that last year? And was that exclusivity really worth it for Epic Games? We'll talk all about that. Alright, first up though, February 2020 Humble Choice games include FrostPunk and the Rifts. That's really good. Right off the bat, that's probably the best inclusion in the February 2020 bundle. I know I am very partial towards FrostPunk. I always talk very highly about it. It's a great game, and to get it through Choice, that makes it even better from a value standpoint. Also, you've got Pathfinder Kingmaker Explorer Edition. You've got Book of Demons, Nightcall, Cryofall, Okami HD, so that's a really good one as well. Elysia, Shenzhen IO, Project Warlock, The Hex, Warstone, TD, and Underhero. Now, I'm not familiar with all of those games, but the ones that I am are mainly Frostpunk, Okami HD, Cryofall. I played a little bit of that. Elysia, Shenzhen IO, but a lot of titles that I am not all too familiar with, so I can't speak on all of them. However, with Frostpunk being in there, with Okami HD being in there, I can easily say that this is a really good bundle. That's really what you want. You want a couple of games that are standouts, and in this case, Frostpunk and Okami HD are definitely the standouts. Now, it is $20. That is pricey. It's not the era of, you know, Humble Monthly giving you like one game, and that one game would already cover the value of the $12 like we had when Spyro Reignited Trilogy was in the bundle. But this is still pretty good. You just have to assess the value of it and go from there. I don't think it's the best bundle that Humble has ever done. I mean, that's a high bar to reach. You've got bundles like when they did Dark Souls 3 pretty close to its release. They did, again, the Spyro bundle with Crash, with Call of Duty World War II. They've had some killer bundles. So the Humble Choice bundles are always going to fall a little bit short of that, but if you're on the $12 a month classic plan, it's a really, really good deal, especially because it's just rolling over and you're getting 10 games now for $12 a month. That is a phenomenal deal. I mean, getting Frostpunk and Okami HD for 12 bucks, hell yeah. Frostpunk is a game that I don't think it's been cheaper than like $15, $16, so to get it for $12 is still really good. And then if you factor it in value-wise, if you have interest in at least 2 to 3 of these games, or, you know, maybe you don't have inherent interest in all of these games, but just looking at the games, you have some interest, you develop some interest, well then, picking up Humble Choice isn't a bad idea. I'll leave a link in the description box below where you can check it out, and I do want to make it clear, I get a little bit of a kickback, because I am partnered with Humble, but I try to assess Humble, all of their bundles, as fairly as possible, and I do bring value into the play, and I was very vocal about the fact that Choice is not as good as Monthly. I mean, that much is obvious. I just don't think Humble Monthly was really sustainable, given what they were doing. That Activision bundle, again, we can just go back to it over and over again. $12 for Spyro, Crash, and Call of Duty World War II. That was just nuts, and obviously that wasn't going to be sustainable, and that's how you see them move to Humble Choice. Alright, next up, I do want to talk a little bit about Metro Exodus coming to Steam. So yeah, the 1-year timed exclusivity of Metro Exodus is coming up. The game was released back on February 15th, and it is now February 7th, so come February 15th of this year, Metro Exodus will be returning to the Steam store. Now, I don't know if this is going to be an ideal buy right out of the gate, because I don't know what they're going to price it at, this at. If they price it at $59.99, get the hell out of here. A 1-year-old game where you made Steam players, or guys that just prefer to have their games on Steam, wait a year and you're going to charge $59.99 for it? Get the hell out of here with that. I would like if they release Metro Exodus on Steam. If they do want to price it at $59.99, throw in the expansion pass. I still think that's a little bit too expensive, but hey, if you're going to price it at 60 bucks, you got to throw in the expansion pass. Or ideally, you know, a $39.99 price point with the expansion pass would be even better. But as far as the price point goes, I think a lot of people are just going to wait for a sale on this one, just because if it is coming out at a premium price point, I mean, why? A game that's a year old shouldn't be at a premium price point still. Majority of games go down, you know, like 50% off by the time a year elapses. And that's really what should be the case with Metro Exodus. Ideally, Metro Exodus is also playable on Xbox Game Pass, so if you're down for the subscription model kind of thing, that way is probably the most value-centric opportunity to play Metro Exodus, but still having the option to buy it on Steam is something I'm definitely going to appreciate. And Metro Exodus, keep this in mind, this was really the first major acquisition by Epic Games Store to make it an exclusive. I remember I bugged out on a video, I had a meltdown, a lot of people had meltdowns, and you know, over the course of a year, was it really that big of a deal that I didn't get to play Metro Exodus on Steam? No, not necessarily. I mean, and I think for a lot of you guys got over it rather quickly. And look, I love Metro. I thought Metro 2033 and Last Light were phenomenal games, and I thought Exodus was really good as well. But I think the boat that the majority of people are in, and it's just that there's a billion games coming out. If I don't get to play Metro Exodus, if Metro Exodus is on EGS and I don't want to use the Epic Game Store, dude, I can find something else to play. Like, it's not imperative that I play Metro Exodus. That's what I think is so interesting about gaming right now. There's very few games that I think are real, like, appointment viewing, playing, like, you have to play that game on release day. I think the number of those games, and it's going to vary from person to person, it is a little bit limited. I think people have a few games like that, but I don't think the majority of people had Metro on that list where their world is going to shatter if they don't play it day one. It's a game that I think a lot of you guys want to get around to, but you see it with, you know, 2033 and Last Light. Those games are readily available, really cheap, so you could also be of the mindset, hey, I don't want to spend $60 on Metro Exodus, a single-player first-person shooter. I thought it was a game that was really good, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to hate on Metro Exodus. It's just the state of gaming in general, where very few games are going to fall into that category of being a game that everybody is dying to play on day one. There are a couple games, of course. For me, like Final Fantasy VII Remake is like that. I'm not going to wait for the game to come to PC. For you, FF7 Remake might not be like that, but that's generally the thing with exclusivity, and with exclusivity, you really need to get those games that are premier titles that people want to play on day one, especially in this era of timed exclusivity. For a lot of people, Rockstar games also fall into that category of being games you need to play right away. I mean, that's kind of the reason why Grand Theft Auto 5 sold like a billion times, because people are buying the game on multiple platforms. I know that a lot of you guys, and you can comment down below, you probably bought the game on PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, then maybe you bought the game on next-generation platforms, and then I think the majority of you guys bought it on PC as well. But that's the interesting thing when acquiring exclusives. I think a lot of the exclusives that Epic Games is getting, yes, they hurt. Yes, people are disappointed. People are upset that they can't play that specific game on that day. However, there's a billion other games coming out as well. There's like different tiers of games that they fall into different like excitement levels, and Metro Exodus I feel like was one of those secondary tier games that, yes, I really want to play it. Metro's a big franchise to me, but it's not at the level for me, and maybe I'm speaking anecdotally, maybe I'm speaking from a self-interest point of view, but for me, a game that's appointment playing, that's a Final Fantasy VII Remake, that's a Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk 2077 could have been released on the goddamn Ouya, and I'm going to play that game. Those are the exclusives that are going to make a big difference. It's going to be huge for attracting people to your platform, but in the case of a Metro Exodus, a Shenmue 3, I'm excited to play it. I want to play it, and I did play it through Game Pass, but it would be a game that, had it only been on Epic Game Store, I probably would just wait a year. So there you have it. That's my stance on exclusivity. Yes, for a lot of people, it does suck, but at this point, I've gotten to the mindset, okay, the game's gonna be exclusive. It'll come out at some point. I got a billion other games to play. I got a billion games coming from Humble Monthly or Humble Choice that are coming out. I got this huge backlog. Unless it's a game that I'm super, super excited for, it's not gonna be appointment playing. I can check out the game in a year, and that, I think for a lot of people, that is what happened with Metro Exodus, because the sales numbers didn't look that strong, but I do think that'll improve with the game coming to Steam, with it being more available, with the DLC coming out, with it being available at a cheaper price, and I do think more people played it given the fact that it came to Xbox Game Pass really quickly after the release of the game. I mean, Metro Exodus probably had one of the quicker turnarounds for a big budget game to be released, and it was from a third party, and then showing up on subscription service, because that was a really quick turnaround. And interesting how Deep Silver is also licensing out their games. They're getting rights fees to offer their games to specific platforms. We've been seeing this a lot in like outside of gaming. We've been seeing it with like television rights fees. People just trying to sell these their content to these subscription services, because these subscription services and external platforms, they are so desperate for quality content that they are paying exorbitant amounts of money. I mean, you guys might not understand the DAZN reference, but look at the kind of money DAZN is paying for some of their sports rights fees, and gaming is kind of the same thing. Epic Games is playing these crazy rights fees for these games, but at some point that bubble is gonna burst. I'm happy that Deep Silver and 4A Games were taken care of and they got their big check from EGS, but at some point you would think that EGS would stop paying, just because it's so much money. Obviously, they have a ton of money because of Fortnite, but still, it is so much money that they're offering for some of these games. I mean, that deal they cut with Borderlands 3 was ridiculous. The deal they cut for Control was ridiculous, given that Control wasn't a massively hyped up game. At what point is that bubble gonna burst, and is that point coming up? Because I haven't heard of exclusive announcements recently. A lot of these games that are coming out, I think a lot of these games have also realized that, okay, if we do sign up with EGS, it's a really bad look for a lot of consumers. A lot of people don't care, they'll go on whatever platform, but you see it on social media all the time whenever a game goes exclusive. Like, I'll see it in my comment section. I'll do a video, Metro Exodus is an EGS exclusive. The top rated comment usually is, oh, Metro Exodus is a Pirate Bay exclusive, or Metro Exodus is now coming out in 2020. Whatever the case may be, that is the gaming world we're living in right now. So that's gonna wrap up this video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you think I'm on the money with my thinking as far as EGS exclusives go, but sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys later. Peace. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.